Hello, guys. Welcome. Here at the beach right now with my sweet girlfriend who's trying to steal the show right now. But, I was thinking, when was the last time you actually took a break? Like, really actually just relaxed. Took a break from everything. And also, when was the last time you actually took a break away from your hometown? Perhaps away from the city or even the country. Or maybe, have you ever thought about what's one place you've been wanting to go for a while and you haven't done it? You've been thinking about it for a while, or maybe you're afraid of going there for various reasons. Maybe you've heard through the media that it's an unsafe place, that if you're a foreigner there, you're going to get yourself in big trouble. Something's going to happen to you. Right? There's a lot of places in this world where the media is going to tell you not to go there. The US is going to tell you not to go there. A lot of times it could be political. Other times it could be true. But my experience has so far been that after traveling around to Latin America for the last 3 years, I've not found, for the most part, any of what they've said to be true. I've not once been in any even close situations in which I was going to be in danger. Not once. And keep in mind, I purposely don't stay where all the foreigners are. Now, maybe perhaps where all the foreigners are, that's where it's most dangerous in a lot of countries, because foreigners are targets, right? Or perhaps maybe it's because I don't look like your typical American. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've never encountered any issues since traveling around. And also, I found the people overall to be very friendly, always willing to help out. Of course, I've been practicing Spanish for quite some time, and I think that certainly helps. I wouldn't say I'm fluent in it, but I can hold my own. And because I speak the language, I can also connect with cab drivers, I make connections, and then I can get sort of local insider information, which helps a lot, right? Where am I going with all this? Well, it's important that you question what the world tells you, or what the outside, the media, and everything tells you. Because if you think about it, every country has its own agenda. The US has its own agenda. Mexico's got its agenda. Italy's got its agenda. Colombia's got its agenda. Every government has its agenda. A lot of times it's very political, right? And, US and Russia, for example, doesn't have a good history. There's this China and US thing, right? Colombia and US, Mexico and US. These are all very political things. And if you look past all that political stuff and you explore the world, you start to realize that most of what they say is more of an amplified version of those things, right? Sure, Russia is communist. Sure, China is communist. But there's lots of people that live in these countries, and I've never been there, so I can't really speak. And I choose not to, because I can't say something about a country that I've never been to, and that I don't really understand the culture. So I don't think it's fair, especially as us Americans, to think that we know something about some other culture until we actually immerse ourselves into that culture, right? Now, of course, that's not to say China or Russia doesn't have problems. They certainly have their own issues. But if you think America or the United States is a perfect country, well, then you clearly haven't tried exploring the world. There's so much out here. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice, especially if you have the means to travel, to not at least explore, right? It'll give you new perspectives. You don't have to necessarily live in that country, but at least go check it out, see what it's about. What is there for you to be afraid of? And certainly it helps a lot if you start exploring. You're going to get a different perspective. You're going to start realizing, you're going to start seeing things differently. You don't have to live there. You simply go explore it, and you'll find that there's a lot of things that you thought you knew about a place turns out to be not true. And what happens is it'll give you a fresh mindset also when you return back to your home country. And you also never know who you meet. In fact, what brought me to Latin America was I happened to be, and I think this is very valuable, is that I'm part of an organization in which it's a global organization. There's men around the world, and I get to tap into that network whenever I travel. So when I went to Mexico, I was able to tap into that network, and I was able to connect with some local Mexicans there. And they helped me get around the city, helped me even get an apartment, even though I'd never had known them before. And same goes for Colombia. So if you have connections, it certainly makes things a lot easier and safer as well, because they'll save you the time that you normally would need to, and potentially a lot of mistakes that you normally would go through on your own, right? That maybe you might learn in a bad way. So, if you can, certainly, and some people, I don't do this very much myself, but you can also do this, is there's websites out there, like I think Nomad List, go on Reddit, go on the internet, and you can find groups of foreigners that travel. You can also meet up with those. There's sometimes these sort of more high-end tours. I've never tried them, but I know a friend that's tried those, and that also is another way to travel a country. And also, if you can, try to travel to the places that are less touristy. I tend to gravitate away from those. Because if it gets too touristy, then you're not really experiencing the country, or you're experiencing it from a tourist perspective. But, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. I personally want to learn more about the actual culture more, and I want to somewhat immerse myself in that more. And that's why I don't generally go to those places, but they can be nice in their own ways. Because a lot of times these places that are very touristy, they tend to be very nice, very comfortable. They have all the amenities designed to be more high-end because the tourists generally bring the money. So try it out. Try what works for you. Try to find a group of people that you can potentially travel with. And if you already know some people that have been encouraging you to go travel, and maybe you know that they're already in another country, well, you can also tap into that, right? Why don't you take advantage of that? What's the worst that can happen? You make a flight, you go for a week, you don't like it, you come back. But what's interesting is I've yet to go somewhere that I absolutely hated, that I want to leave immediately. Like literally, there's not one place I've been to yet, even some of the smallest towns. There's always gems in there. There's always something interesting about the place, either in a fantastic view, great people, interesting food, interesting hiking, parks, what have you. You never know. There's always something interesting almost in any given place in the world. So I encourage you, take a break. When you do decide to take a break, go travel, go explore, go open your mind, go question what you think you know about the world. And you'll thank me later for all this. I can promise you, because I've been doing it since the last 3 years, and I don't know why I put it off. Probably because I didn't have the right people around me. And the moment and sometimes you don't even realize that you actually all along might have had at least one connection that can connect you to some of the other right people. But more importantly is the moment you start going out of your comfort zone and questioning what you think you know or what you think is safe or unsafe, is the moment you will start to really push yourself and learn things and realize that you're actually capable of much more than you originally thought you were capable of. So yeah, if you guys like that, what I had to say, like and subscribe, leave some comments below, whatever feedback you have. If you got any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon.